what are you thinking about these games right now? How do you feel about these games? What are you taking away from these games?
It's a very, it's a lot. I think one of my biggest takeaways is actually a similar sort of thing. It's kind of been like headliner of my life for the last couple of years, is just the general idea that you have to accept just acceptance. And I've had a hard time with that, not necessarily with this games, but just over the last couple of years. It's really hard to accept certain things that have happened in life more recently, that there's still days where I feel like I'm living in a dream, or more that I'm living in a nightmare. And when I go to sleep, then I dream and I wish that my dream was reality. And then I wake up and it's one of those strange sort of alternate universe sort of, I don't know how to really explain it. But the idea is just in life that I am still working on and want to get to the point where I actually sort of truly accept the new reality. And there's days when I do and there's days when I don't. And this games, I think, especially racing and everything, it was like with every single race, it was like, well, as disappointing as that is, we have to reset. And the only way I'm even going to be able to compete in everything is if I actually just try to put that behind me. And we'll go back and revisit it and try to debrief on what went right and what went wrong. And there's a lot of things that I think my whole team did right, that I think we all did like everything right, and it didn't work. So there must have been some puzzle piece that was missing. And that's always the way that I've thought about it, is if it's not working, then there's something missing. But when it came down to actual performance, I mean, I was skiing, I am actually skiing some of the best GS and the best slalom that I've maybe ever skied. And I couldn't tell you why in the moment, in those races, it not only didn't work, but it was like the worst of it not working. Right? It didn't even make it very far in the course. And how much that hurts, because I've always been so consistent and like maybe more of a kind of composed skier, and finishing has not normally a problem. You know, I have ups and downs in my career, but it's not normally been a problem. So there's a lot that I want to go back and analyze and figure out what I have to fix or change in order to make it better. But there were so many people kind of within our little community that was just like, we have no idea. We don't know what to tell you. Because it looked like you had the right mentality, and I felt like I had the right mentality, and the skiing was there, and my warm-up skiing, my training skiing, for the last 22 days, my skiing has been some of the best I've ever done consistently. And it got me 4 gates in the GS, 4 gates in the slalom, and 9 gates in the combined. Is just really strange. So it's like confusion looking back on this time here a little bit. Definitely a lack of understanding still. And also just acceptance of that is what happened. And the Olympics are over for me. And we're not We're not getting a chance at that for another 4 years. And also, as important as it feels, it's just a few more races. It was just, they were just races that really didn't go that well. And on the speed side, it actually went pretty well. I mean, I had a blast, and I got some really solid, basically downhill training, and that's the best downhill training and the most downhill skiing I've done in 2 years. I had a lot of fun skiing, and it's a massive bummer, but also, I mean, it's a personal bummer that it didn't work out on any level with results, especially in tech. But it's also just like tough to see what people can say about it, especially those who don't follow ski racing outside of this Olympic window every 4 years. And I'm like, that is what it is. That's what we're going to take now. And that's also something I have to accept.
Well, you talk about new realities and disappointments and not doing what you wanted to do, but sometimes new realities, I think, teach you some things. And you didn't earn medals at these games, but I think it's fair to say, and I think you know this too, that you earned a ton of respect from some of the best athletes on the planet and tens of thousands of people who watched you persevere and show resilience and strength at a time when maybe some athletes would have walked away from the Olympics and said, I'm these first 2 races didn't go well. I'm going to step away, focus on the World Cup, go back to Europe. You stayed in and fought in every single race, right?
Yeah. Stubborn as shit.
But that shows so much strength, Mikaela. You see that, right?
I don't really see it, but I said I was going to do every race if I possibly could, and boy, I accomplished that. That's one thing I did accomplish, was doing everything, and I'm now exhausted, but we did it. No, I mean, it's a separate message from, the whole kind of dream, the Olympic dream of winning medals and everything. It's like a separate bucket of, lessons learned and friendships made and all of these other things that, like, the Olympic experience that doesn't always connect with the medal experience, because a lot of times, and I've experienced this as well, when you go, like, most of the medal winners are not getting the Olympic experience that you see from a lot of the athletes who are not medal winners. You're focused, you're going to bed on time, you're doing all of the things that might earn you the medal, and you still might not get it. So it's kind of like, why don't I just actually enjoy this time? But it's a very weird situation. But anyway, back to the point. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing most of the time, but I figure if I just get up and get out of bed and start putting one foot in front of the other, like, I'll figure it out along the way. And there's going to be days where I feel like I really know what's going on, and there's some days where I just don't understand it at all. And you don't always have to know what's coming or how to even handle it. You just try to do the best you can, and you just try to do the right thing when each moment comes at you. And that's also tricky, because a lot of people have a different opinion of what the right thing to do is. And in the Olympics, with social media, they can state that opinion and argue about it. And I'm just looking there, I'm just like, well, I don't know. I don't know if it was right I don't know what I did that was right or wrong. But what I do know is that there's a lot of kids out there, and just people in general, who are really stuck in the feeling that they don't know what they're doing, and they don't know why they're doing it, and they don't really understand what the actual point of life is. And it's a really big struggle. And you just need to get up, even though sometimes you might fail doing what you're supposed to be doing. And gosh knows, failing multiple times, that doesn't actually make you a failure. It just means you didn't do it today, but you can still rise tomorrow and keep going. And it's maybe just what I'm trying to tell myself, so that I, take on tomorrow with the same tenacity that I wanted to approach all of these races and the GS and slalom, and the tenacity that actually shot me off the course multiple times repeatedly at this Olympics that's the tenacity that's going to help me win more races. So it didn't work here, but it will work. It's just allowing it to get to the point where it can actually work. And in order to do that, you have to get up. And we thought about leaving after the slalom. We had a meeting, and at that point we knew that Petra was leaving. Sarah, Hector, the two biggest competition for overall globe and the GS globe this season, which is, the next goals. They've been home, they've been recovering, and they've been training. So I've just been here competing, and it's not like it's done anything for me to prepare for the rest of the season, but it felt important. And I am proud that I'm proud that my whole team, that we just kept getting up and going out and doing it. And like you said, fighting. Although, when you look back on it, it's like, feels a little silly, because what were we fighting for? Nothing ended up working out. I mean, if I had gotten a medal in the combined, it would have been like, oh, you fight, you're resilient, and then you win. But I don't have like the end of the story, like that movie ending is not there. We didn't win. We fought, and then we didn't win. But the consequences of not winning in sport, there can be injury, and in some circumstances there is death. But for the most part, as far as battles go, the consequences are not that dire. It's just you face some crap on social media until the next sparkly, shiny, interesting thing comes along, or the next biggest failure comes along, and then you're old news and people move on.
First off, I don't think you're a failure, and you're
Thank
not.
You.
And I don't know if your movie's been written yet. I mean, you talk about this movie, and it is a little bit. It's like when Rocky's getting hit in the face, and he just wants to keep getting hit in the face, and it's not going right, but he perseveres, and he gets through the fight, and he wins. And I don't think your fight's over yet. You mentioned you got more season to race. The season's not over, and the Olympics are just a few races, and so you've got more in front of you. And so I imagine that's now where your focus is going. And what has your mom and we're hanging out with your brother, and so what have they been communicating with you to sort of kind of keep you in a positive headspace?
I mean, I could not face another day. Of the last 2 years, I couldn't get up each day without my mom and my brother. So that's one thing. Like, it's easy to say, just get up and keep fighting and keep doing what you're doing, but you have to have support around you. You have to have people who are helping you. And I am the most grateful to those people. It's now maybe more than ever, because it's been a challenging couple of weeks. My brother, he was like, you guys got there. You got yourselves there, and you were charging out of the start, and your first turns were, you looked like you had that mentality that normally when we're watching on TV, we're like, oh boy, this is going to be a really good run. And then you were out, and you know what? I don't know if that was ever the point. And he found a way to say, not that it's okay to not produce the results, because as a family, we've always just, I mean, the point of ski racing is to have is to be the fastest down the mountain. You know, that's the sport. That's, if you sum the whole sport down to one thing, it's the fastest down the mountain wins. And that's the point. And we're competitive. Most people are, and you like to win. So he found a way to help my mom and me see in those kind of first moments after the slalom that even though it's really good and important to be frustrated and disappointed, it's also just, it's just kind of something that stinks and you have to take it, and yeah, you have to accept it, and you have to be proud that you even got there and tried. And it was really nice to hear him say that. I think he was trying to speak from his own opinion, but also from a perspective that maybe my dad would have been able to give us. And we were really wishing that we could call him there. And Taylor helped us see some of those perspectives and viewpoints that my dad probably would have helped us see as well. And my mom, she's just carrying me. she carries me and all of my baggage, literally and figuratively, every single day. and she just doesn't complain. She just gets me through literally everything, even prior to the Olympics, just helping me get up every day and keep going, even though there's been a lot of hard moments. And especially these last couple of years, it's just the things that people don't see that weigh on you the most. And there's been a lot of it. And then there's these moments we have when we're on the hill training and something clicks, and seeing my mom's face light up because she helped me take another step with my skiing. And she's just like, oh my gosh, if you can do that skiing in the next race, it's going to be so awesome. And her excitement makes me excited. And it's just in the middle of whatever, nobody's watching warm up before the Olympic Games. And she's just like, I don't care what you do today. I'm so happy to see you ski like that. And it's just before the race even happened, before the opinions started flying all around the room and across the table and across the world and all over social media, we were just happy and psyched to be skiing, you know? Like, all of the extra stuff can make you really not want to do what you do. But I love skiing. And that's why we're here still fighting for it.
With the rest of the season, and then I read a very positive feeling at the end of these games with the team event. Another, you didn't medal, but you said it was the most positive experience you had at these Olympics was racing with your teammates and feeling that support.
Yeah, well, the capping off the Olympics with the team event being delayed by another day. We were all supposed to fly out yesterday. And when they canceled the race, and then they're like, well, they're going to try to reschedule it for tomorrow. We're all thinking, is that possible? Like, isn't it the Olympic? They're like, that's the last day. But yeah, it's possible. And that's what we're going to do. And there was a good little chunk of time where I was thinking, I have to get the rest of the season going now. I am literally, again, weeks behind my main competitors in the fight for races and titles for the rest of the season. And I'm still, on paper at least, I'm still in that fight. So this extra 24 hours, that's going to hurt. But then I was thinking about Paula and River and Tommy and AJ and Luke, and it just thinking about it from a bit of a different perspective than I've really ever had, because it's always been ski racing as an individual sport. So you train with your teammates, you support your teammates, you love their success. And you hate to see them have the bad days, or especially the injuries, but you're still competing as individuals. And I just haven't experienced many times in my career this actual team environment in a competition, in a race, where you just, I don't know how to explain it, but we're thinking, do we just get on that flight and go home and leave, because I've been here forever and I've just been skiing every single day. It's been like 20 days on in a row. And I could not bear the idea of not giving it a go with those guys in the race today. Just how much they deserved my best effort. And I don't know, I wanted to try to help if it was possible. And of course, with team event, it's also so much walking a tightrope of, which course ends up being faster, because one of the courses is always faster, and how it all works out. And then it comes down to tiebreakers. And so it really boils down to your two fastest guys in the fastest course, guys or girls, two fastest athletes. And it's just, there's so much that is still to be figured out in that event. But we were just there pushing and trying our very best. And it was really special to be part of that. And I wish it was a medal. Obviously, that's an obvious thing to say. I know, I get it. It wasn't a medal. And so it's on paper, it kind of boils down to another failure, but I just didn't see it like today, of all the days, of all the performances that I had a role in this Olympics, today was so far away from the failure that everything else felt like it was just a pretty cool day, and I don't know, an uplifting way to end the games with my teammates.
It's easy to see the best in an athlete when they win. It's not so easy to see the best in an athlete when they don't. And I think we've seen the best in an athlete at the Olympics with you. I really do. And I think you've shined, you've represented, you've led by example, you've inspired. And I think that's pretty awesome. And we're all looking forward to you coming home so we can see you when you get back to Colorado.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say.